The DVR's into here. Is it already recording on its own?
It was recording a long time ago.
Okay.
Right.
Is there a stop feature for that? Or,
No.
or just that's what it does? Is always recording? Okay. By default?
Yep. And there's some other questions I've gotten is, well, I want to delete part of it, like part of the hard drive. It doesn't do that. You could delete the whole hard drive. You can't just delete a portion of it. It's, it's made for security, and, if you want to delete some parts of it, they don't consider that to be good practice, I guess.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
So, as something gets older, it gets deleted or written over. Okay.
Right. So those are some of the settings. So we'll go over the settings here.
How many? This accepts 16 cameras, right? Yeah. So I should have 16 up, which means I have a couple cameras not working.
Possibly, yes.
No, most definitely.
Yeah. I'll be done in a minute, man. I'll help you out with that. So here you could change the name here. So this is I don't know. You could just call it Noir DVR.
Hey, Gary, do you have a camera working on the other DVR?
None.
None?
None.
Like one, maybe.
Right. Oh, sorry.
Since you have more than.
Right.
None.
So this will eventually, next time you log in, this number won't be there. It'll say Noir.
Oh.
And so let's see. We went through this. This is actually does it right away. So you see Noir DVR1. So we went through
That's
here.
probably going to the other box. That's why.
So this is the what rights you want to give them, admin rights. Network. So this is useful.
I need it.
Option. If you go to option, that's the default port is 80. You can change it. And if you want to do port 40, you can have one on 81 and one on 82 or whatever, something like that. If you want to do that.
For a higher number,
Right.
3,000.
Sure. Exactly. Absolutely. Yep.
Hittable by others.
Whatever you like. Yep. Bandwidth limitation. I've had complaints that it just takes up too much bandwidth because you're seeing a lot of video. You could limit how much it could send out at once. This one here. This one's a little bit. You have a static IP here, so you don't even know. This is for dynamic DHCP dynamic.
Gary, do you have a camera working now on the other one?
Sorry. So go back into the configuration, and so this is for if you have a dynamic IP address, a public dynamic IP address, but you don't have that, you just have a static. So again, option, that's where you change the port, just to slog, explanatory. Most of these other things, so you could name each camera, so call this, I don't know, outdoor one, outdoor. You could change it to whatever, and it'll show up on the screen. Outdoor street, I don't know. So you could change it as well. Click apply, and next time you see that camera, it'll say that number. The rest of the settings is more really up to us. This contrast and brightness and so forth. So that's camera. Let's see. This is where you could, so this is useful if you have say for example, this is facing the street, and this is the motion area, but you don't care about motion out on, you don't, so say this is looking out at the street and there's cars going by, or you don't care about the cars on the outside maybe. So you could block out the motion, so it only cares about motion and records faster only on this part.
Oh, sweet.
So you could block off the motion on that part. So I'm going to set it all. So you could do that through the motion settings there.
You can fine tune it, right?
Right, you can fine tune it. You can also set the sensitivity. I like to have the sensitivity high. The maximum is 10. Well, I'm sorry, highest. I put it on 9 because I noticed that this DVR doesn't always pick up motion. It's not very sensitive on a motion. So I put it on 9. You don't have any PTZs. Let's see. This is self-explanatory. You could actually send you email if something happens. Right. So as an example, again. So that's something you can do if you want. If you like. So motion. This is motion from camera 1 or whatever, and or if something happens here. It's again it's self-explanatory. Something happens. Or motion. You could have it send, let's see, email. Let's see here.
Yeah, you have to just
Right, event check. Yeah. Oh, you could also schedule it. So in that guy's instance, he only cared about 90. He doesn't care if she when she enters or exits. Yeah, you could set the time. Okay.
Very good.
So this is the recording. This is the recording settings. I would just recommend putting a continuous and event right here. Now there's different programs. You could set it up different ways, different settings. This will make a lot more sense. So I put it on A, and on A, it's recording all 1 frame, and on motion, on event, it records at 5 frames. And so you could set up. So when that will be useful is this is schedule. So say you care on daytime, you only from working hours, there's gonna be a lot of motion. Say you care from 9 to 5, you have it on program A, as an example, and then from and then say for I don't know, like oh, you could set it. Oops. Say from this time to this time, you want it on D, as an example, like that, or something like that. So you could you could set it up different ways, but you could choose. I just put it on this. I think that's fine, 1 and 5.
And this frame rate is per every second or 30 seconds?
5 frames per second.
Oh, okay.
Right. So 1 second, it takes 5 pictures. I think that's sufficient. Movies are 30. TV is 30 frames per second. The faster you record, the faster it's going to need the hard drive. So if you put this on 30, the hard drive is going to last 1/6 the amount of time. So you have to balance out how fast. Because I know people want to see fluid movement and so forth, but if you do that, it's going to go through the hard drive faster. So that's what a balance. I think 5. If it takes someone 5 seconds, if it takes someone 3 seconds to walk down a corridor, you get 15 snapshots of the guy. But that's how you calculate, and that's I think that's fine. If there's a camera, you think there's a lot of hand movement, or is it just like a really small space, you might want to have it recording at a faster rate. So. But 1 and 5 is generally good.
Money counting room.
Money counting room, you will put this on 30. You will put this on 30. Definitely. So.
What's the capacity on these? So as it's configured right now, we'll have footage from now to
probably like 3 to 5 weeks.
3 to 5 weeks.
Right. So those are basically the things you need to know. I mean, you might want to change the user ID and password and all stuff. Just make sure you don't want to forget it. Yeah, you give them different access rights. Those are the settings. I think everything else. If you want to put it onto the internet, you could do port forwarding, and you could change the ports as well. You could have 1 and 80 and 1 and 81 or whatever you like. So I'm just going to change this other one, call this Noir 2.
At the other site, with our 2 DVRs, we encountered a problem where one of the DVRs had the majority of the cameras, and the other one just had like a few. So the one with the majority of cameras, when we're remotely trying to look at the cameras remotely, it was really, really, really bogged down as far as the DVR. Whereas, of course, the other one with less cameras, it